understand when you look at perceptions and things of that nature, right? You want to make sure that you're being as understanding as you can. In times like you gonna argue, in times you gonna fight with yourself. The biggest loss in a fight is fighting with yourself because you don't know how to fix the problem you're having, right? I learned that everybody has to go at it their own way. You know what I'm saying? So when you sit down and you try to guesstimate how life can be better or worse, there's always something different. I was sitting down and I was like, damn, why am I not in a good space right now? Like what is preventing me from being where I need to be? And it's a very simple answer to a very difficult question. It's because I have lived a life of fast pace and I never took time out to just be like, yo, let me think about this next move. You have to always tell yourself, like, I deserve what I'm going to get out of life. And that's not always like a person. Like sometimes you just have to desire peace and quiet, or peace and stress free. Sometimes it's in those realms of where people sometimes look at you and they'll say, well, how come you can get through this part of life but you can't get through that part of life? It's not that you can't get through it, it's just that it comes at a price sometimes. And for me, I sit down and I always tell people, like, the worst thing you can do is try to fix 5 problems at one time. You're gonna fail. You're gonna fail miserably. So when people are sitting there telling you like, oh, I was doing this with my life, I was doing that with my life before I met you, you have to say, okay, then why weren't you doing it while you were with me? See, you have to understand what that concept and that moment of conversation means. For me, it's really less it's a figment of don't be stressed out over things you ain't got control over. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're trying to just figure it out as you go. That's probably the hardest concept ever. Oh, I'll just figure it out and whatever comes from it, comes from it. Yeah, let's not have that thought process no more. You know what I'm saying? We got to think more clearly than we've ever thought in our life. So if we approach a situation gracefully, then when we sit back and reevaluate it, it'll come at a better understanding. Sometimes we're so wound up in trying to figure out why is something not working. We lose track of figuring out why it was working. Not everybody's gonna agree with you. Not everybody's gonna like what you're thinking or how you're moving and all these things. Like, you really gotta put yourself in a position where, if I think for myself, is that gonna violate what other people feel? You know? And is that okay? Absolutely. Absolutely it is. Because if you don't stop and just enjoy life, it'll pass you by. There's a lot of people out there who will be like, man, I wish I would have did this differently. I'm going to tell you now, stop wishing you would have did things differently and just do it differently. That's it. You can't please everybody else and not please yourself. And that's a big thing that people don't understand. Like, we run through life trying to make sure the world is happy, but nobody making sure that we're happy. We have to make sure that we're happy. It starts with us. I had a lady say to her husband, like, you really don't put forth your best effort. And it made me think, well, you're his teammate. Or as like people like to call, you're his helpmate. Why are you not pushing him to put forth his best effort? Sometimes a man and a woman can just get stagnant and comfortable in where they're at. You can't assume somebody knows how to deal with every problem that's coming. They just don't. Like, we're human. We're going to fail somewhere. But if you can sit down and make a person understand that life is not always what you make of it, but how you handle it is different. It's different. I promise you it is. It becomes like Why is it that every time I'm doing the right thing, the wrong stuff always happens? It's because it's gonna go that way. And if you don't understand why you gotta go through something to get through something, then you've never been through nothing. Real talk. Hello, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? All y'all's comments are just popping up. I will read them here shortly. So it's almost like when you look at, like when you're walking and you're going nowhere, it's difficult to say I've been somewhere. You've been somewhere mentally, but physically you've been standing still. Hello to everybody, how y'all doing? A lot of people will tell you in life, man, what is it that's stopping me from getting to where I need to get? You know what's stopping you? The people that you got around you. You got people around you who will, and I hate to say it this way, but it is what it is. You got people around you that are happy that you're succeeding as long as they're benefiting from you. And that's just facts. You ever been in a relationship with somebody and all your friends hate the fact that you're in a relationship because you're happy without your friends? That's what it is. It's that. It's not that they're happy for you. Oh, look, you're in a relationship. Oh, kudos. No. They're happy that you're with somebody, but then they don't want the friendship of you jumping out there and helping them whenever they call to stop. And that's real facts. Like I always bring up this scenario about income tax time. You never hear from people when they got their income tax money, but as soon as they go broke, they back in your phone. I always say this to people. And a lot of people are like, are you serious right now? Yeah, I'm dead. That's what it is. See, ladies, understand this. When you got a trying man that's trying, don't break him. Men, let me tell you something. When you got a woman who's a beautiful woman inside and out, don't break her. Because this is the problem that we run into. When what I mean by break it, I mean like, don't talk reckless. Every relationship gonna hit a hard patch at some point. Just don't talk reckless. Be respectful about it. Any problems you have in a relationship can be fixed if you learn from it. Now, there's some people you're gonna have to cut off. You're gonna have to cut off some friends and family. You're gonna have to cut them off because they gonna be upset. Imagine you break up with somebody you've been with forever, and then y'all figure, you know what, let's work it out. Everybody that you told that there was a problem is not gonna forgive that person as much as you forgave them. So it's best to keep your relationship to yourself. It's best to keep your problems to yourself. Because sometimes the people that you're telling want you to fail in that relationship so they can try to get in that relationship. Real talk. Y'all can be mad at me if you want to, but that's facts. Yeah, I'm about to pull up to this mechanic and act a fool. It's not like people care about who you are anymore. There was a time when there was loyalty and honesty amongst friends and family. That shit is out the window. I'm telling y'all from what I know. I never get upset no more. Like things that would hurt you before, didn't you notice they don't hurt as much now? Because like you want to figure out like once you figure out like you haven't done anything wrong, it's hard for you to be like, I gotta still entertain this bullshit for real. And I didn't do anything. Nah, that's where you have to learn the understanding of you and how far you're gonna go with something. Like, I don't care how much makeup a woman puts on. I don't care how much she does to her body to make herself feel comfortable for herself. If you're still the same person on the inside, that outside don't matter. I don't care how sexy y'all think a man is with a six-pack, pretty eyes, good hair. If he's still a D on the inside, he's still a D on the outside. You just got to learn that there are things that you must do to make people understand life. I had a person tell me the other day, yo, you're the calmest person I ever met in my life. I'm like, shit, you should have seen me before. And that's just what it is. Don't drag people around you to have them around you. You ever see people used to say, yo, why you keep the ugly girl around? Because the ugly girl used to make the pretty girl feel better. Now the ugly girl is who people want. Remember the big girl? That was their thing. Oh, she the big girl. Nobody wants the big girl. Don't worry about it. And now you look at people and you say, I don't have people around me as much because I know what a beggar look like. People you say, man, you don't ever invite nobody to your house, Carter, for what? If I'm home, if I'm not home and my woman is home, what are you doing knocking on my front door? You know I'm not there. Same thing with a woman. Why would your friend be letting another man in your house? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I said it backwards. Why would you let your homegirl in the house with your man if you're not home? Because the first thing you gonna think is something popping. And then all he gonna say is, you told her to come over here. You know what I'm talking about? So I don't play that game. I've never been a man that plays that game. You know what I'm saying? And once you decide on what's real and what's not, you're gonna understand a lot. I'm gonna be back on here in a minute, y'all. I gotta let my phone charge real quick.